I was thinking about this the other day. What's like a band that you like, that you enjoy? You used to get excited to hear the sounds that would come out of the things that they're playing for you, the person, the audience. But then at some point, maybe a decade later and 5 albums afterwards, you have to ask yourself, did I ever like this band? Was this band a good band? I must have enjoyed them. I know the words, but I don't have that same pervasive need in me to seek them out, to listen to them, to consume them. I don't know how people feel about Joyce Manor, but they used to be some of my favorite punk rockers around. And I must ask myself, why am I not excited? Why am I not ecstatic for a new album by Joyce Manor? It seems like we are down a member and down a song on the track listing with only 9 songs on 40 ounces to Fresno. And the new singles off of it don't have me excited. So I'm asking myself, what is the best of Joyce Manor? Why do I love this band? What do they have to say about the scene? What have they given the scene? I think I owe it to them to go song by song, album by album, and pick the absolute best Joyce Manor bangers. It's Emo City, baby. And Joyce Manor, it just happens to be their time. These songs on the Songs from the Northern Terrence are demos. It's their EP. This is a collection of them. My favorite sound by them. It's folky, it's punk. You have that shitty acoustic guitar strumming in the background and the drums that sound like they're being recorded in a closet. 1:05 with classic lyrics like, yeah, your dad, he was a cop who punched you right in the head. You said, fuck you, dad, I hate you. And that's just what you meant. And I like the title. It has a funny little play on housewarming party. It's a housewarming party, like the house. It's not a great house. My grandma was a waitress. My mom was a waitress. I'm a waitress too. We don't have money. We don't come from grand, great places. But to me, you are the Great Wall of China. To me, you are the Golden Gates of Hell. Your camping trips and hockey. Yeah, to me, you are the lies that you tell. It's that good angsty, punksy childhood trauma that we use music to get through or get over or to just mask the actual help that we need. Orange Julius, a name that is sort of ironic, or maybe it's not meant to be ironic. Maybe it's like, hey, Orange Julius is a cheap, simple comfort that we have, and like, that's all right. An aspect that I respect the most about Joyce Manor is how they cut through all the bullshit. They play songs. They're here to play music. They're catchy. You're not really gonna understand the lyrics, but you're definitely gonna feel the vibe. Seeing them live in concert is very much the same way. They'll play their entire set and just pound it through. Just go song to song to song, fitting in as many as they can, which I appreciate. The boys always put on a good show. A childlike optimism, a childlike desire. But you're the only thing I don't hate. The cold, quiet paradise, my only true escape into the night. So, like, everyone else you want to stab, but this one person, Orange Julius, is the one thing you don't hate. Like, he can go get Orange Julius late into the night. Or is Orange Julius another thing? Is it a person? Is it drugs? I had to go grab my album because I did not believe that Christmas Card is the opening track. Christmas Card to me is such an emotional, just like let go of everything you've been holding in, like anger, sorrow, looking for the keys to the truck, your body saying, isn't that enough? Your brain is going, I don't give a fuck. You treat it like a game of skill. It's a song about someone who drove home drunk, but it's more like a work of art or money in a Christmas card. You think about it way too hard. I would assume that if you put money in a Christmas card, then it's like a cheap gift that you didn't think about too much. But there definitely is this release of emotion just pounding its way through the song with that drum snare. It feels like a closer. It feels like an emotional purging. And I'm realizing now, of all the things I'll soon grow tired of, is not on YouTube Music, you fuckers. So Fake ID really serves mostly to just confuse me, right? This mature band of what I'm assuming is 20-year-olds. So starting a song with "Tell me what more could she wanna be?" A super hot friend with a fake ID. Joyce Manor has never been shy about calling out girls. Girls, you be doing some dumb shit. We gotta call you out in our songs, in our punk rock songs. But I'm questioning to myself, who are they hanging out with? Why does she need a fake ID? Is she not old enough for a real ID? Are you hanging out with high schoolers, Joyce? This definitely has like a slower hit to it. It's not as dirty or intense as their previous opening songs. It has more of a hook and a melody to it. The production is much more cleaned up, but it still feels like a Joyce Manor song. This is the first album where I feel like I can actually keep up with the songs, and it's not just like this girl. She's asking, what do you think about Kanye West? And you're replying in a very sarcastic way, I think he's the best. I think he's better than John Steinbeck, a classic American author, as well as being better than Phil Hartman, the central antagonistic figure for Arnold Schwarzenegger's home life in Jingle All the Way. He put his hands on his wife's cookies.
Howard, excuse me, but your wife's cookies are out of this world. What?
Don't you agree? Can't you see it just like me? The man can do things the rest of us could only dream of, baby. Is she still talking about Kanye West at this point? This is all one quote. The man can do things the rest of us can only dream of, baby. Don't you understand? This feels like he's maybe airing out some personal grievances about a conversation he was locked into about Kanye West that he didn't really want to have. I just don't know why we had to dedicate 40 seconds of a song to that conversation. I don't know what we're learning about it besides this one girl kind of shitty. So he's saying this person who only cares about vague, empty bullshit such as Kanye West. She is the person that is helping me through today because my friend Brandon died. I feel sad. He was pretty cool. Is there a moral to the story? Fighting kangaroo, besides making me giggle and think of the little pins that we had at the Scholastic Book Fair. There's little toggles on the back of the pen. You press it, and then the kangaroo punches little arms. And by the time I found you, there was nothing that I can do. Became a fighting kangaroo, but it was never your fault. This song definitely continues a trend of feeling more low-key. It's more poppy, more melodic. The entire song is pretty much a hook. There's an actual chorus to it. It doesn't feel like the raw punk band anymore, but instead like a competent band that's been doing this for years, because at this point they have been doing this for years, and the songs are seeming to lose their bite a little. I do like Orange Julius. Fake ID is a nice little opener to the album. It gives you a chance to kind of soothe into it. Same with Fighting Kangaroo. I think Christmas Card grabs you so instantly that it is the strongest opener and the strongest statement that this band could make starting an album off. We have the first song on our playlist, Christmas Card. Cool. 9 more to go. I was debating if I should even really look at this album because these songs aren't really songs that circulate in their set list anymore, which I might drop it after we're done with this first EP. They're like a punk band, but they're not like punk. Heavy, but they're not like hard. They're like energetic, but they're not intense. But it wasn't until I got to this EP and I heard this raw emotion come from them. This feels like the most honest Joyce Manor is, just from the title, fuck koala costs. Don't kill koala bears. Don't genocide those little syphilis-ridden freaks. Like the breath you breathe through a tube in your throat, your third wife, your first kid, and your favorite fucking coat. Like the boys in your class that you love and you miss. Oh, thank God they can't see you like this. The most disgusting, horrible, tragic, sad, desperate human moments all captured in one fucking verse. And then we have that hook. This is a good album to bridge from their acoustic-y kind of shit post to their Never Hunt Over Again era. It's a good little transition from their messier, grimier selves to the melodic, emotional music that they would come to play. It's describing kind of the uncomfortable truth that your best years might be behind you and your best years might have been spent locked away in your bedroom, barely seeing anybody, but because you're with another person that felt the same way you did, it mattered more than anything else. So you call out. Joyce Manor has never been great musicians. They do write hooks and melodies get stuck in my head, but they also sound slightly familiar, and they're never really doing anything too technically insane. Can't solely rely on the musical writing styles of Barry. It's weird how in my mind, I feel like their new stuff is when they started implementing all the softer kind of elements, and then their older era is that pure punk rock. Falling in Love Again would actually feel on home and not too terribly out of place on Cody. It would definitely be the best song on Cody, but it wouldn't feel too out of place on there. In my mind, it feels a lot angrier and shoutier, but that's because I think the emotions they choose to emphasize and implement it in moments that really bolster up the entire song. Thanks for showing me around last night. I hope you don't think I don't care, because I do. I just don't know if I should feel this bad about you. There's just an emotional push in it that is so impactful to me. I like Falling in Love Again, though it is never a song that I'm like, I want to listen to that one from Joyce Manor. I'll see it when it comes on. It just doesn't come to the front of my brain, you know? So we have a inspirational song from Joyce Manor, very rare. He's looking back when he was 18 and saying, 18, life's a bad dream. You feel like you're being pushed and pulled in all sorts of directions. You just want to be naked with another person. Doesn't it feel good to take your shirt off? I get so tongue-tied. I feel so old today. So is he being reminded of being 18? Is he getting that feeling of dreams and wanting to do something bigger than himself? But then why is the music itself so like passionless? Almost like they don't want to play too loud to disturb the party. Cody, being the transitionary album from this era to this era, has a really weird sense to it. Like, it's kind of caught in between adolescence and the maturity that they would like to present in their music. So we're falling in love again. It reminded us of being 18, and I think I'm still in love with you. It just seems a little cutesy, like the line, the kind of things you thought you knew, but not like buddy buddy. Buddy buddy, guys. It's just a weird phrase. Are you more than buddy buddies? Are you buddy buddies? All I ever wanted was to say, I think I'm still in love with you. And even though it isn't true, I think I'm still in love with you. So is he trying to convince himself to stay in this relationship? He's been broken down to the point where there's nothing else for him to do, even though you probably shouldn't be. She sounds like a real bad person. On our second offerings, I'm gonna have to go with Fuck Koala, cause it may not be the cleanest of the songs. It may not be the catchiest of the offerings. It is my single favorite song from this era, and I'm gonna be damned if it does not make it on our playlist. Can you climb on the roof and can you yell at the sky? Can you see in the dark and can you stay up all night? Can you climb on the... I don't think I've ever heard the acoustic version. It's not bad. I like it. What does DFHP stand for? Don't force Harry Potter. Don't force Harry Potter on the children. I legit didn't recognize the song until we got to the Can you climb him on the roof, can you yell at the sky. I like the acoustics a lot. His voice works well with it. Moving on. A very intense song on the lyrics. Wait for your cue, my scene ain't over. I torch up your house while your kids are at home. What can you do when you're not getting sober? You burn their fucking children down, Barry. I like when Joyce Manor sings about a township or like a place because it feels like an entire season of Veronica Mars. Stories going on and pre-existing relationships, and we, the audience, are walking in on something that we don't really know what's going on, and he's finding out that everything reminds him of this place, of this person, of this childhood that may have not been the greatest, as we are discovering through some of the lyrics. I don't know what to take as a personal story, as personal reflections, or as just kind of a general theming to a song. I believe it's probably a mix of both of them. Some poetic flourishing on events that have happened that gives you very intense scenarios such as this, but it's perfectly suited to the music and how they play it. I feel him shouting through this drive of this beach community. It's at this point that almost feels like Joyce Manor is playing old 50s boppers, kind of like what the Ramones were doing at the time. They were playing like 50s and 60s boppers, a little more aggressive, so it took on this punk sound, and then you add in ironic lyrics about dark subject matter on top of it. I guess that's what I'm saying. The Ramones invented emo music. The only line that I really like from it is when he says you can be your own dad. I think it's kind of sweet and kind of funny, but also really sad about the state of maybe his dad and his childhood. See you in the summer. It's the end of something bright, something good. It's too sad. A blue mark on a paper bag. You wear it like a mask. What's a blue mark on the paper bag? What is that? Why is there a black light at the end of summer to show how much you f***ed inside the house? Okay, it took 3 songs on Cody, but we're finally saying something. We're finally singing about something. Angel in the snow. An angel, a snow angel. I'm assuming the snow angel melts and then the angel's gone, is how I'm interpreting it. I stay home all day, afraid to live my life. Maybe tomorrow I'll do something else because I'll be feeling better. It's sweet, it's sad, it's what they do the best, and I really like how his voice hits this chorus. I think the softer, melodic side of Barry works, not always, but can be used very effectively in songs like Angel in the Snow. Don't you ever feel lonely, baby, what is a big lie? Is a big lie the world, happiness, finding goals, trying to live, the social structures? Or is love the lie that we're feeding into? The lie, is that the big lie? He wants to be controlled. He wants to be with a girl that is controlling. Something that was slightly echoed in Angel in the Snow when he said he's just waiting to follow. Kind of weird that he's taking such a passive approach to life and relationships when he has shown to be so like aggressively outspoken and like strong-minded. Big Light is a sleepy song that I'm not sure if I like what it's saying, and I'm not exactly sure what it is saying, what exactly the lie is. And then the end with his like little whoosh, the way he like hits that little falsetto. It's not my favorite performance by Barry and the boys. For me, it's between Beach Community and Angel in the Snow. I don't know how many songs on Cody are going to be true contenders for the playlist, so I think I'm going to put Angel in the Snow as a safe pick just so Cody is represented on the playlist. When you make it to your driveway, will you call to let me? All right, Derailed is talking about, I guess, human nature, the duality in all of us. Dolby, go away, holy hell. The duality within all of us to get home and collapse under the weight of the world, or to actively make it worse. You're either a victim of the system or you're perpetrating it yourself. Like the things we play with, the things that we work towards to buy, also perpetrate this system in which we live in. Is this deeper than how Joyce intended it? I can only assume. Victoria captures what I love most about Joyce Manor. You give me something catchy, something that gets stuck in my head. It's always just like right there. Anytime I see that name, anytime I think of that name, anytime I think of the Victorian era, but it's to a tune that sounds almost like a 1980s synth song if you take out the synth and give it more aggressive guitaring. Never Hunt Over Again just perfectly hits that middle ground of being messy and chaotic and being controlled and melodic. And the two fuse together to create some of my favorite songs. Is it my favorite because I relate to it, or just because it's the one that gets stuck in my head? From the capital letter. This is the soft acoustic side of them, where we get this very slow meddling guitar from the capital letter. Do you really want to not get better from the capital letter? The capital letter of, is it a tets? Is it an actual letter? I'm guessing it says, I don't want to get better. And then he's reading it and he's like, well, do you really not want to get better? And if we're following the narrative thread of being 18, being alone, and this girl kind of being the only person keeping you company, an angel in the snow, but she has issues herself, you want to see her get better, but they gotta want to get better themselves. Trying to decide who's good and who's just rich. Whoa. So they're playing more audibly with sounds production. We have the acoustic guitars, but with a bigger drum. Maybe there's some violin in there. It sounds more impactful than some of the other songs we've been listening to, and it has kind of a mature adult alternative feeling to it. Some people just say poor, maybe some people that deserve it more, some people that work just as hard as those other people. And he's trying to figure out within himself who's good and who's just rich. And the takeaway is, I'm not the one. I don't have answers. I don't know what the emotional core is supposed to be. When he sings Victoria, I know exactly how he feels. So in that sense, I think Derailed is the best one out of this group. Famous friend, why you telling lies again? All your stories start out boring, but famous friend, why are you telling lies again? Then becomes the hated friend coming around again. But there's a jealousy that comes with this, envious notion that they are confident, that they are telling lies, that they are boasting themselves up. And I would really like to know what it takes to say, I am strong, I'm powerful, I have worth and skill too. Don't have famous friends. If you have a famous friend, fire them. Not quite as memorable as Victoria, but they do capture you right away. The hook of the song captures you right away. It's familiar and it's easy to obtain, but you can tell that this is coming from somewhere within them. It sounds better when you're high on marijuana, Barry. I thought you don't touch this stuff unless you want to go to sleep. This song solely hangs on by the power of that melody, and it does carry it through all the way till the end. Found myself down at the alibi. Here it is. Probably gonna smoke some weed. I go with, I don't touch this stuff unless I want to go to sleep. And it's basically just telling an event the last time that you heard of him. It was down at the alibi. The smokers crowd onto the street because you can't smoke indoors anymore. Think so, bomb. So they're both having a ciggy. He's outside, Sonia's smoking weed. He sees another girl in the crowd of smokers. Their eyes meet. And for a moment, I see everything, start to finish, sad defeat, shivering, laying naked next to you. And that's the last you heard of me. So it was over before it began, you can say. My only issue with this song, I like the guitar work. I like the melody. I just feel like it takes so long for the story to unfold, and the story isn't funny enough, ironic enough, or interesting enough to really carry it through. She's the only one who could take it to a pawn shop and sell you for $12. So $1 Million to Kill Me, the title track off of, basically saying like, I'll pay you, I'll put a bounty on my own head, I guess. It sort of feels like the melody of Into the Summer. It feels like several other songs. She don't mean to be a drag. She's just indifferent to the old blue fact. I don't know what a blue fact is. Maybe like Kelly's Blue Book. She's the only one who can take you to a pawn shop and sell you for twice what you're worth. So she props him up. She sells him as this big thing, but she's also willing to part with him and give him up. Why does this girl make you feel like you'll never be happy? You're an asshole from a bar on a break in a break room and you'll never be happy. I don't know what went wrong. I'm going with Shelly since Victoria did not make it onto our playlist. I think we should have one of our lady names on here. And so far we have 2 songs from Never Hungover Again, one from the Northern Terrans, one from Cody, one from their self-titled, 0 from $1 Million to Kill Me. So Leather Jacket is a layered song, much like the layers of a heavy cowhide on your back. There are multiple layers to this track. You may think it is a call-out track, that this person wearing this leather jacket is some sort of fake punk, new leather jacket, you're somebody else, and it's not nice to meet you in a fortress of self. Thanks to your leather jacket, we're nobodies now. You have left us, you moved on, you have found cooler friends. Barry reveals something else though. I miss the way we used to talk before you went to school. Now you seem to say is, baby, how could it be you? I hate the way you're learning and you're looking at your phone. I hate the way I feel like dying when I'm all alone. He's mad that this person has grown past him. They have taken upon something or found something about their personality, and he's taking that out on this person in their leather jacket, regardless if they deserve it or not. And to me, that kind of petty anger is exactly why this band works for me. Once again, airing out some grievances with his father. He is looking at getting a heart tattoo, a tattoo of a heart. I thought maybe he was talking about getting a tattoo on his actual heart. Then I'll know it's real because it'll fucking hurt. I'll probably die, but it'll be real, baby. I don't know if you know this, but Barry has an entire blacked out arm, so I don't think he's adverse to getting tattoos. Maybe his dad was averse to him getting his first one, so this is kind of a look back on that. It's like, I'm gonna get a real tattoo. It's kind of a silly song, but it's a fun song. This is the first like energetic one on the album that they put a little bit into it. There's a little bit of the old Joyce Manor still peeking out through it. The way that he says lines as if they are the right amount of syllables for the situation, that there is not a syllable too much more. I'm as dumb as a fucking piece of chalk. And then we go into the chorus, on a summer sidewalk in the summer sun. You make me childish. I don't know if I would call children dumb. I saw a mountain, want you around the fountain, for real. It's no big deal. What a weak fucking start to the side B. Just feels dreary and sleepy. Sleepy for Joyce Manor. Sounds like an oxymoron. Look at the album cover. It's a cool picture. I like that he's holding up the kick drum. I like that he's holding his little guitar here like you want it. And this guy is having way too much fun. But then it's just this black bar where they put the title of the album. It just looks kind of sloppy and feels a little lazy. Feels like they're reusing, repurposing, and just trying to get through an album. Silly Games is the first song that I've heard that I would say is legit bad. So it's Leather Jacket. Like, it's no competition. You're the worst intern, the first of the night. I like how on this first album, you hear so much of his vocal performance. You hear the you hear the physicality of him singing the song, which makes it feel very genuine and real and feels like you're getting so much out of him in the performance of the song. I'm not necessarily sure what he refers to as the 21st Dead Rats. Were there 21 rats in his house? They're staring at you with your black eyes. You're reaching out for the iron to kill it, I guess. I wouldn't kill a rat. I would release outside, personally. This song is kind of upsetting. Joyce Manor had like a weird reputation, especially at their shows, for attracting this kind of jock type. The jock type that is in most high schools that don't really listen to music, but they'll go to a show or a concert that is popular within the scene, and they think when we go to these shows, when we go to a Joyce Manor show, it's punk rock, and in a mosh pit, you're supposed to fucking hurt people. You're supposed to be this big, mean force and push people around, because that's what punk rock is, baby. For some reason, those kinds of guys always showed up at Joyce Manor shows. Same with like modern baseball had that issue too, I feel like. Just a weird dynamic to me that seems contradictory in punk rock, in the scene, when you go to a show, when you want to experience music with the people that feel it and love it the same way you do. It seems contradictory when you have people there to hurt people. And I'm not saying that that's Joyce Manor's fault. I just find it interesting when there are those references in the music. Like a jerk, like a jerk. So I want to see what's going on over your shoulder. So he wants to look past the person he's with, but it all goes wrong. So she wants to say goodbye because he's trying to look past her. Oh, he's looking at someone else, isn't he? It's that fucking meme. He's with his girlfriend. He's looking back at a new girl. He's like, oh, baby. So he's a jerk because he was looking at another girl. That's it. There's no more commentary to it beyond that.
Over before it began.
You could read it as him saying it about the band. Like, some of them were friends, I guess, and others, I guess, they were fans. Our band, the scene, can't last forever. It's gonna have to end at some point. Same with life. Everything's futile. Or he could literally just be talking about another girl. As close as you can. Closer than the clothes you were wearing. Closer than we can understand. Closer than a cousin. Almost feels like a goodbye song to their fans. Like, this is the last Joyce Manor record there will ever be. I think viewing it through that lens gives the song a layer that makes it more impactful than probably what it's actually about. I thought I enjoyed this album. I mean, all right enough for me to have a t-shirt with the name of it on it, but I quite literally do not remember this song. I don't know if I have ever listened to it. He met someone online, and it's kind of lame to say it out loud. It's 2018. People only have friends online. People's entire social communities are built online. I sit up in my bed, sick to my cyber soul. How you ever gonna teach me something? I don't wanna know. I don't know what to tell you. Log off. The jerk is funny because, like, he's a jerk in the subject matter of the song, but you don't necessarily hear it when you listen to it. You don't get the irony of the song itself. 21 Dead Rats has really good moments in it. And like I said, I am going to praise Cody whenever I can. It just wears me out, or it just wears me out. This captures that good fucking early Joyce Manor. Unlike his performance in these later albums, you feel him being worn out by the song, by the subject matter. It's that constant nothing, you know? The constant nothing, the low-key happy and harmless. It's fine. We don't do anything good. We don't do anything bad. But we don't do anything like fun or progressive. We're not really living our life. Even though we may be content, we're not really living life. I think that's relatable. Is he commenting on anything here? Are we commenting on the army? You look good in a uniform, look good holding a gun. I think it's more of a commentary on the person. You look good in the photograph because we're in the army now. It's just like, you did it, buddy. That's your life. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna be in the army in the photographs, and you're in the army at home, and you're gonna have to go because you're in the army. And that's like what you do. That's life.
People used to tell me that I could.
An interesting follow-up to Over Before. He's saying that people used to tell me that I could buy and sell me. There's no such thing as luck. All your success is attributed to your ability to sell yourself on your ability to sell yourself. But how do you explain how things have changed so much? He's saying that something's like missing now, that he feels like he's in a reversing machine, that something is going backwards. We're no longer progressing, moving forward, growing. Now we're digressing. Now we're less than what we started out as, and I'm confused. It's adding on top of that feeling that they were bringing up in Over Before It Began, and just compounding onto that emptiness that it seems they are growing for their own music and playing it. Could that explain why their two newest singles off 40 Ounces of Fresno have done absolutely nothing for me? This is another case of Joyce Manor naming a song after a line in the lyrics, but not necessarily representative of what the song is about. Nothing in here really reads to me as a critique of the music scene or a critique on punk music itself. Of the punks, I feel so freakish. Pocahontas, Orange Eden. Oh, Pocahontas, kill. Like Pocahontas, but you're broke. $1 million to kill me. I feel like I missed my opportunities to give you credit. I don't know if Gone Tomorrow or Wildflowers really will bring anything new to the dynamic. Up the Punks sure didn't. The Army Now has never been my favorite. I don't like how that lead guitar sounds on it. The constant nothing though. Constant nothing was giving me those old vibes, those good old Joyce Manor vibes, and for that, it's going on the playlist. With 2 songs left to go, 2 self-titled tracks, 2 Cody tracks, 2 Never Hungover tracks, and 1 from their EPs, 0 from $1 Million to Kill Me. Ashtray petting zoo. Is it a petting zoo in the ashtray? Are you making like animals out of the ashes? I don't know what it is. Regardless, I feel incredibly sad when I read that title and the way that he says, "Oh, God bless you." Like, this ashtray is the only thing that like keeps him together, or is like the only thing he's looking at right now. Unlike Brandon Urie, he does right sins. I do like the walking snare drum in it and how he sings the melody over it. I walked out to regret it. He will rot there if you let him. I have money riding on your decomposure, but money won't buy me a sense of closure. It's just like the way he hits it and it sort of builds into it before gaining momentum. You can literally hear and feel them gaining momentum in the song to get to that chorus. If anything, I would say these songs are emotionally effective.
Sunken city by the ocean. You can teach the 7th grade.
This is what I was saying about them making the song title not really what the song is about. It's just like a line that they're like, oh, that would sound good if it was. But the song isn't the Catalina fight song. Did you fall in love the way you were supposed to? Like, just because you're making choices doesn't mean that you're doing things the right way. You always fell in love the way you're supposed to at the Target inside the mall. The Target specifically inside the mall, which in my head, I know exactly one Target around here that's in the fucking mall. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I've seen that place. I also love how quickly he spits into Sunken City by the Ocean. A pacing and a tempo to it that feels very thought out. It feels like they practiced, they tried a few things, and it feels well produced.
When your body fails you, when nobody
Possibly Joyce Manor's saddest song. And yes, it does hit a little close to home. Oh, I can't do my laundry. Christ, I can't do dishes. What I'll do without you. When your body fails you, when no one loves you, and they do is miss you, but they don't even care. If this is about his parents, it's interesting that it seems at the end of their life, he would have a change of heart. We'll sit there and go, oh, I miss Grandpa, but you don't care enough to go and make their life better, and you didn't care when they were around. But then who is he tying to his bed? I'll tie you to the sheets because I could watch you sleep for weeks. The last line has confused me. Is Gone Tomorrow gonna surprise me?
everybody wants to tell a story. No.
Okay, I'm fucking bored. Tommy does origami forever in the morning. Good job. And Trisha, she's gonna hit ya with a blazing hot beam from her amazing ray gun. I would honestly say this is the toughest fight between these three songs. Controversial opinion. I'm gonna pick Stairs over Catalina Fight Song. I may regret that. I may be sad to never hear Catalina Fight Song ever in existence ever again, but Stairs is a more meaningful song to me. So if there is ever a song to make you fall in love with Joyce Manor, you may have liked them, you may have enjoyed their music, you may have felt the anger and the passion put behind it, but the song that made you fall in love with them was probably Constant Headache. It doesn't start with Barry's vocals. It starts with instrumentals. They build up and it sounds like this grand emotional moment before the lyrics have even come into it. They are actually building up a mood, and so it really stands out from the get-go. And then we hear the melody sounding once again like a 1980s pop radio track, maybe taking a lot of inspiration from Video Kill the Radio Star. I love the imagery of you were drunker than high school. You don't know how to drink. You just fucking pound down anything, everything you see in hopes that you achieve what adults call drunk. A tooth out of line, they try to make you regret it. You tell them, no, not this time. He's a constant headache. She should regret it, but she's sticking up for herself. And she's like, no, not this time. I enjoyed it. He feels like a dead pet device, hung up, unfinished, with the better part of me no longer mine. Is this the time that he lost his virginity? Is this what we're hearing? His virginity being stolen from him. I felt guilty and cheap. Then he wishes he could have seen you having sex in the morning, not us having sex. Like, I want to see us having sex. No, I want to see you having sex. With whom? Your love was foreign to me. It made me think maybe human is not such a bad thing to be. I like that. It's like subtle. It's not like, yeah, life is worth living because we had sex. It's like, you know what? Maybe being able to connect on this level isn't the worst thing on the world. But I just lay there in protest, entirely fucked. It's such a stubborn reminder. One perfect night's not enough. And she was nice too. That's the worst part. She was nice about it. Heated swimming pool, not as strong as a closer as Constant Headache, but I think there are moments in it to really enjoy. And you can see a lot of the things that carry them on in here that kind of annoy me. They're like constant, simple beat. I think it works here because it's just like the first time we heard it. And then by the time we get to Cody, it's like, you guys have already done this. And then A Million Ways to Kill Me, it's like, guys, you really have already done this. I can't tell you how many times in my life I've said, my house, my rules, my heated swimming pool. That's fun to say in a moment. I don't know. So I guess, if anything, Joyce Manor has left a meme impact on me. I also like how hard this cuts the I wish you would have died in high school, but so you could be someone's idol and like inspire them, and they'll be like great and do awesome things. I love this song. It has an impact on me. I remember it for all of time, but it's not the sheer emotional ride that is Constant Headache. So,
I wrote this one for you.
Cody tried to recapture the emotion of constant headache. Maybe not recapture it, but it's on a similar note where it's just this driving force of a song of an emotion. This song is a mess, but so am I. A funny refrain, but really the only moment that sticks out in this one. I like how it starts with I wrote this one for you because that's all I can do. It's sad, but it's true. And the song and the line useless but not unused. It's cute. I like moments in it. Now, wouldn't it be a real curveball if Wildflowers turned out to be the best track? Okay, so that did not happen. Will I listen to this album again? I'm sure I'll spin side A many a times. There is only one true way to end our playlist of Joyce Manor, of the Joyce Manor singles that should mingle. These are the single greatest Joyce Manor songs. We have 2 songs from Never Hunt Over Again, 3 songs from Cody, and 4 songs from their self-titled Fuck Qualicos from their EP, and absolutely fucking none from $1 Million to Kill Me. Cody marked the transition period from the Joyce Manor that I knew and loved to the Joyce Manor that I don't really have any strong feelings for. There's moments on there that still capture that same feeling, but mostly it is spread out and far between. While Never Hunt Over Again, to me, seems to be the most overall classic album with the most moments I remember. Their self-titled has the stronger writing and has some emotional moments that I feel outpace and do better than Never Hunt Over Again. But I would be completely misguided if we went through an entire Joyce Manor retrospective and I did not talk about all the things that I will soon grow tired. There is a slight fuck up though. It says, see how tame I can be is 8 seconds long. Drainage is 14 minutes long. That's not fucking true. Video Kill the Radio Star, one of my absolute favorite covers. That If I Needed You There, Violent Side, I Will Feel Violent because I feel violent all the time. Just this like anger that stews underneath you. I think I'm Always Tired might be my favorite. Low-key, be the best Joyce Manor album, and it was not on YouTube Music for me to judge with these other albums. Are they a band? Should be popped up with the great Modern Baseball, the Front Bottoms, Jeff Rosenstock, Joyce Manor? Are they a band that really made an impact? Are there a lot of Joyce Manor clones? I certainly have learned a lot from Joyce Manor. I still look forward to their new album, and I hope there's moments on it that can recapture the magic and the moments of their best stuff. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What songs would you have chosen? Would you have picked the ones I did? Am I being too harsh on $1 Million to Kill Me? Or am I not being harsh enough? And I'll see you guys next time. Stay posy, stay swazzy, listen to some good shit. Catch you on the flip side.